Hi, fellow subscribers. Very sorry for, being absent all this time. It's just, recently a lot of things have been happening, like a lot of things. First of all, I've been sick for all of winter here in Australia for literally like three months straight. I have never been sick for that long in my entire life. I swear to God. Like I was just, coughing just so much, and I was taking like no matter how much cough medicine I was taking, nothing was working. Thank God, it's over. But apart from that, um, I'm also going to be, getting my first job. I'm going to be working with my dad and my sister. They build like cubby houses and like, they paint and, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think I'm going to be getting my first job soon. I think he said, by tomorrow, I'm pretty sure I start. But not only that, but I'm also going to be visiting a couple days a week with a friend of his, Jeremy, the same guy who took me to that Jurassic World expedition thing. Yeah, he's going to learn. He's going to teach me the whole like airbrushing and art sort of things, just so like a way to like improve my artwork and all that stuff. Um, I just figured, maybe it's time, for a little bit of an upgrade. I mean, I don't know if you guys, even, think my art is like masterpieces or something, but I just think, might as well, try some new things with that kind of stuff. But anyway, so those are just some of the reasons why I've been a little bit absent, as of now. But thankfully, I am back. And I'm here to tell you a lot of things that are going to be changing from now on, because over these past months, while I was sick and then, going through all this, like, finding the whole like job and all that stuff, I've also been trying to like manage the whole like movie stuff, because I've seemed to have noticed that every time I try to, come up with a release date, I never, end up meeting the deadline and all that shit. As you've seen with, Spider-Man Master of Disguises, which was supposed to come out like months ago and all that shit. Um, so from now on, I'm thinking like no more release dates. I think maybe, just sort of make them, at my own pace, just don't need to rush into things, because I feel like that's what a lot of movies in actual Hollywood seem to sort of fail at. I feel like that's why a lot of movies, like actual movies, they tend to flop because they're rushed and all that stuff, because they always have to meet a deadline and all that stuff. But I reckon, if I just, don't have a release date and I just, make it, as I go along, then hopefully it'll be just as good, or it'll completely fail. I have no idea. But so that's what's going to be happening. So no more release dates. They're going to be releasing, whenever they're finished. So yeah. And also, when it comes to the whole like casting stuff, I am still considering maybe getting a few people on board, like a couple close friends that are experienced filmmakers. But the problem is that I don't know if I mentioned this before in my previous videos, but when it comes to that sort of stuff, like for years, ever since the first time, I wanted to start making movies and all that stuff, like since high school, nobody was particularly interested. I mean, they were interested enough to like see it and all that, but they just don't want to be a part of it in any way, which is understandable. I need to respect other people's, wishes and all that stuff. So yeah, I feel like I'm probably going to have to be doing every single thing by myself. As lonely as it's going to be and as exhausting as it's going to be, this is the stuff that I've always been passionate about. And either way, I think it'll still be, fun enough, because at least I'm still doing what I've always wanted to do. What else? Oh yeah. Also, most of my projects, I'm thinking of like some of them switching from, that was originally going to be live action into animation, specifically, traditional cell animation, because, obviously you can get away a little bit more with animation. And, obviously when it comes to the voice actors, again, not many people are particularly interested, no matter how many times I asked. And obviously, I don't have enough money to actually, pay for everything and, the actual actors and all that stuff. So that's kind of the first problem. Even though, like, it doesn't really necessarily matter. It only matters if, like, people are interested enough that they'll do it for free and all that. But still, that's just how I feel. And So yeah, I am thinking of like, because obviously there's like supposed to be different characters in these movies, like, you know, men, women, and all that stuff. Obviously I can't really, you know, obviously change my voice too much, but I will give it a shot. But I will have to probably resort to some sort of AI voice changer. I know a lot of people have a really big thing against AI, because I actually recently heard that they're like, even Hollywood's going to be replacing a lot of people with CGI. Fucking idiots. But I think I'm gonna do it in a way that some YouTubers have done it with, like, Glorb. I don't know if you've seen his videos, but he's like a rapper who does some his original SpongeBob raps and all that stuff. They're actually pretty sick. You should go check him out. But I'm thinking of doing something like that. And as for the cell animation itself, I am aware that the kind of materials used for all those classic animated films are sort of obsolete nowadays, because everything's gone digital. But I do remember watching this video of someone doing a tutorial of like how to, you know, do cell animation on a budget, where he took these plastic sandwich bags, and he basically used that for the cells and all that stuff. And I thought, you know, like, why didn't I think of this before? I was thinking of like doing acetate or something, because that's sort of what I've normally seen in other tutorials and all that. But I think maybe this will hopefully work just as well, and it's a lot cheaper too. So yeah, I think hopefully, you know, it does. I don't know if it's gonna work out, you know, the way I wanted to in the end. I mean, if I can't do like cell animation, I could probably do like, I don't know, stop motion. Obviously, I'm still trying to learn CGI. I'm thinking of like making a couple of test animatics, not just for the films, but like just for fun and all that stuff. Like this new one I'm thinking of is Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon and Five Nights at Freddy's. I know it's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird crossover, like a mashup. But because it is October now, you know, Halloween is just around the corner, I figured, you know, might as well. You know, I feel like that could be a little fun. Yeah, anyway, I think that's pretty much all I got to say right now. So that's pretty much everything that's happening at the moment. So yeah, a lot of things have been happening. And so bottom line is, you know, no more release dates. They're all going to be like ready when they're ready. And most of them are going to be animated and traditional, like sort of Disney style of animation. Yeah, again, I will try to attempt to ask people if they want to, you know, sort of be part of the projects and help out a little bit, even if, you know, it's, I don't know, like overseas or something. Like if you're from like America or just another part of the world, I don't know. But this is obviously my first time doing this sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. That's completely fine. You know, I have to deal with it as usual. But so yeah, anyway, that's all I gotta say for now. So yeah, again, sorry for being, you know, absent, you know, all this time, but at least, you know, back on schedule, and hopefully I will get started on all these projects very, very soon, hopefully. As soon as I get this whole job thing out of the way first, and yeah, hopefully things will work out from there. Yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hope you guys will have a very good day. And I'll end with wish me luck. That's all I gotta say. Just wish me luck. And I wish you the best of luck, whatever it is you want to do in life. So yeah, peace.